In this video, I'm going to share what online coaches who are making six figures or more have in common with none other than Gordon Ramsay. That's right, Gordon Ramsay and successful online coaches have one thing in common, which is the secret to their success, and that is what I'm going to reveal in this video. My name is Brian Elwood. I'm a real estate investor turned author and online coach. I'm the author of Nail Your Niche. I started my entrepreneur journey in the real estate investing world. I flipped hundreds of houses and accumulated a few dozen rental properties. Then I coached others on how to buy their first rental properties. And I did that for about 5 years and grew that business to multiple six figures. Since then, my passion has changed to helping coaches start and grow their businesses because I believe that we all have a valuable message that we can share with the world, change the lives of others, and make a good income doing it. And this is part one of a 5-day series where I'm going over the fundamental steps to start your coaching business from scratch and get clients and make money as soon as possible. Now, I've spent multiple six figures and I've worked with Russell Brunson, Dean Graziosi, Brendan Burchard. I've paid them to tell me what I need to do to grow an education business. Now, I don't want you to have to spend all that money and all those years figuring out the hard way. So I'm making this series so I can tell you what they told me in the most succinct, digestible way as possible. So my wife and I, we are addicted to cooking shows, and our favorite one is MasterChef featuring Gordon Ramsay. I'm sure you know who he is, but just to recap, he is probably the most successful chef in the world. He's got 16 Michelin stars, which is the third most out of any chef on the planet, and he's probably the most famous chef in the world. This dude is killing it in the culinary game. Gordon has a couple quotes that sum up his success. He says, "For me, the real secret is in the ingredients, and the better the ingredient, the less you need to do to it." As I heard him say those things, I realized there is a similarity between how he's approaching cooking, ingredients first, and how the successful coaches that I've seen are making six figures with their businesses. So I want you to imagine that your goal is to make the most delicious soup possible, and you go out and buy the fanciest pot that money can buy. You bring it home, set it on the stove, pour your water in, and then you just start throwing in some random ingredients and seasonings and spices and just kind of cross your fingers and hope that it turns out delicious. Does that sound like a good plan? Now, we all know that that fancy pot that you bought is not going to make that much of a difference in the outcome of the soup. Well, when I started out in the online coaching world, I thought things like a Facebook group or a funnel or a website were what I needed to get clients and grow my business. But over time, I realized that those are basically the equivalent of that pot in the kitchen. It's nice to have, but on its own, a fancy pot is not going to cook you a delicious meal, and neither is a Facebook group just magically going to get you clients. And once I worked with all the gurus that I mentioned earlier, like Dean, Russell, and Brendan, they confirmed my suspicions. They said, yeah, dude, like, it's what you say that makes a difference. It's knowing who you speak to. It's knowing what they want. It's knowing what outcome you provide to them. It's knowing how to position yourself so that your opportunity is unique and fresh. In other words, yeah, they used a webinar to make millions of dollars, but they were using the same software we all have available to us. It wasn't the webinar software that was making them the money. It was literally what they were saying in their presentation. What was their headline saying? Who did they call out at the beginning? What pains did they speak to? What outcome did they promise? So the webinar was like the pot in the kitchen, and the contents that went into the webinar presentation itself, those were the ingredients. So most of this 5-day series is going to be about finding your ingredients. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly who it is that you serve, the niche that you're going to enjoy coaching in and be the most qualified in, the quantifiable outcome that you deliver. And once you nail your ingredients, then you can essentially cook them up in the pot of your choice. You can choose which social media platform to use, and you can get great results. But if you go try to spin up a social media platform and you have no ingredients, it's like the person who's trying to cook with the fancy pot, but they have shitty ingredients. Now, on day 5, I'm going to share what I call the 3 attraction strategies, which is what I wish I would have known about from day 1, because it does matter which platforms you choose and how you use those to get clients, but not until you nail what we are going to cover in days 1 through 4. If you're liking this series and you want a deep dive on everything that you need to know to grow a six-figure coaching business, you can grab a free copy of my book, Nail Your Niche, at nailyourniche.net. I'll put the link in the description. And in day 2 of this series, we're going to decide on the most fundamental decision, and that is who you will serve. Who you decide to serve changes everything. It is the first decision you must make and get right. If you're ready to hop into day 2 and figure that out now, check out this video, and thanks for watching.